Hello, this is Charles Castronovo coming to you from Berlin, Germany, where I'm working on a new production of Gounod's Faust at the Staatsoper. For this podcast, I'll be speaking with my colleagues and cast members René Pape and conductor Alain Altinoglu. So, I hope you'll enjoy this episode and find out what's behind the singers inside. Hi, I'm here with our conductor Alain Altinoglu, and we're on our break for our orchestra rehearsal of Faust here at the Berlin Staatsoper. We're going to talk to Alain for a minute and just hear what he has to say about a couple things and about his life and what's coming up. So, Alain, thank you. I wanted to ask you first, when did you start conducting and stuff, and when was it really that you started going on your career?
I used to be a coach in the opera. I started very young. I was 16 years old, and I used to be coach in the Paris Opera, Bastille, Châtelet, and everywhere. And after 10 years, I thought maybe it's time for me to start.
You had enough experience by that time, I think, yeah.
So in 2001, I started to conduct. So it's quite late. I've been at 25 years old, so it's not.
Is that considered late for a conductor? I really don't know.
There are many different stories. A very famous conductor who was Charles Minchis, and some begins at 12 years old. Everybody has his own.
Your own thing,
yes.
Yeah. Okay. And what about repertoire? Is there some kind of repertoire that you prefer? Do you do a lot of opera more than symphonic, or
people know that I love opera, so they ask me a lot of opera. They know I'm French. So they ask me a lot of French operas, yeah. So that's why I'm...
Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I love French opera, but I love also Wagner, Strauss, and all the stuff.
Right, everything.
Yeah.
So you probably do more French opera, you would say? If you really looked at the...
Yeah, I think maybe 60% of my operas are French operas.
Ah, okay. And what about Faust? Have you done it before?
No, it's my first Faust.
Ah, okay.
I have Faust every year for the next 40 years, but,
yeah, exactly.
But I'm happy to do my first Faust with you.
Yeah,
you're my first Faust, and
yes.
you never forget your first
Yes,
Faust.
exactly. Yeah, well, I'll try to be easy on you. Okay, so let me just ask you something about that I try to ask all my colleagues. Okay, you're an artist, you're traveling around, you're doing a lot of things, but you're also a family man. So how do you deal? I think people like to know how we deal with this kind of situation, with being on the road a lot,
Yeah, we are in a wonderful job. To be a conductor, a singer, to be on stage, it's something incredible. But maybe the most difficult part of this job is the family part, because you're never at home. I live in Paris, but I'm in Paris maybe 1 month a year, yes. Which is very difficult. I'm lucky because my wife Nora, she's a singer too, so we try to make our schedules to be able to be together and with ours, but sometimes we cannot, and sometimes I don't see them for 4 or 6 weeks, which is very sad for me, because of course I love them.
Yes,
but it's a difficult, this of course.
Yeah, I know all about it. Yeah, and I always want to. The reason why I asked this question also, I'm hoping that maybe someone will tell me something I didn't think of yet. So to make it a little bit easier.
No, I think there is not any solution that we have to travel because we love our job and yes.
I guess that's the sacrifice that one has to make in this kind of job. So, but you have to do what you have to do. Otherwise, maybe you won't be happy if you're home all the time.
So I try to give the more love I can to my son and my wife.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Anyway, you bring that with you, and when you're performing, it helps a lot too. Well, also another thing that I like to ask all my colleagues is, if you weren't conducting, in this case, if you weren't a conductor, what other profession would you think about? What kind of hobbies or passions you have other than music?
You mean about music?
Anything you want.
First, I wanted to. I'm a pianist, so I wanted to be a concertist. So I play the piano. I play chamber music. But my second big thing was maths.
Math? Oh my goodness! Unbelievable.
So when I entered in the Conservatoire de Paris, the high school of music, I was also in a very high school of maths together. So I decided not to go to the math thing and to go to the music. So I think I would have done this. The third thing that I love very much is chess.
Oh, really? That's
I
great.
play chess all the time on the net, you know.
Yes.
So,
And we can figure out what kind of brain you have now
Yeah, exactly.
with math and chess and music. It's kind
and
of similar.
I loved sport
Yes.
until 18 years old. And after, unfortunately, I didn't have time to practice, but I love to play the tennis.
Yeah. Oh, tennis. That's great. Oh, that's really interesting for me to hear because you know you never know. With a little twist of fate, you could be doing
Of
something
course.
totally different.
And you
right
and
now.
math?
No, I hate math. It was my worst subject in the whole world. I love history. That's
History,
my thing.
okay.
But it's really interesting to hear anyway. But okay, so then just tell us now then, you know, some things that you want to talk about what's coming up for you that's really interesting that you're excited about.
Okay, so now we are in February.
Yes, it's February, it's 2009.
It's our stage orchestra rehearsals.
Right.
Next week we have our premiere is next Sunday. No, in 10
Yes,
days.
Yeah, the 15th,
Okay.
yeah.
So after this, I go in Sweden, symphony concert. I go back in I'm the first conductor of Montpellier in south of France, so I have a lot of opera to do there.
Yes.
Bluebird Castle and
Oh, wow, great.
things, and after I will be 2 months in Aix-en-Provence, which I love the city.
Oh, it's beautiful.
festival,
Yeah. That's a
So-
great place to be with the family
With
too.
the,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And I remember you said you're going to be doing Salome also at some
yeah,
point.
next year. Yeah, next year I
Next
have
year.
wonderful things to do. I do Salome in Paris. I do Carmen at the Met, Metropolitan Opera in New York.
Great.
What I do? I do
Chicago.
Faust in Wien.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so many things.
A lot of things. Okay,
Yes.
that's great. Well, listen, thanks for talking to me.
Thanks
Give
to
a little
you.
chance to the people to
No.
hear a little chatting, you know.
It's good.
Hey, you know.
Very good.
Anyway, so thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right.